seen tempo so much. Is that even, not that it's not a concern, but do you feel like you're ready that isn't as big of a deal as it may have been a few years ago to deal with that kind of tempo?
Absolutely. Tempo's a way of life, as you put it. And, as football's evolved, it's becoming commonplace. You go away from the defensive huddle, and everybody's got to get that hanging huddle, get aligned, and play fast. And so those evolutions have been there. The stress points of fatigue and rotations, obviously, is something you continue to practice with. So it's there. We're ready for it. It's always there.
Is communication the number one thing? Is that like the big deal?
Certainly part of it, yeah. So that that a tempo offense doesn't force you to play just one defense, and so the communication comes into play and being able to do some different things. Which today at practice, thought we had a great day, high energy, a lot of communication, a lot of guys clicking. So certainly we're ready to do that.
Ryan, with a guy like Wendell entering the portal, what do you lose in a player like that? And then what kind of opportunity is that for guys behind him?
Absolutely, great question. And just first and foremost, love Wendell Davis. Wish him the best. He's an awesome young man, and so I'm sure he'll have success wherever he ends up. And for us now, focusing on our guys gives younger guys, some different guys, some opportunity. So we have some guys that will step up, some guys that are eager to fill that void, that space, and so those guys are preparing, and they've been preparing all year, and so some guys may shift around, but we'll be ready.
Is Brandon one of those guys? Brandon George?
Absolutely, and so you guys have seen Brandon. He's done a great job on special teams all year. He's plugged in there, rotation sometimes. New Hampshire had some great time, and he's prepared himself professionally all year, and so certainly he's one of those guys.
Did Wendell come to you about playing time?
I'd rather focus on the guys that are here. Like I said, I wish Wendell the best.
One thing that Phil told us is that something that reared its head again in the last game was guys stepping out of their roles to do too much, and that kind of messing up assignments. Is that something that you saw in those early touchdowns against Miami, and things that you're like, okay, we can correct this, especially on the long run they had?
There's multiple factors there, but certainly that could be a problem, right? You see, everybody wants to take ownership, and like you're saying, when something breaks down, if 5 people do one thing a little bit different, you lose the structure. And so I don't know if that's the case wholeheartedly, but that certainly can be a factor, and certainly we want everybody to do their 111, do their job, and make sure everybody's we're clicking on all gears, and we have a sound defense.
What do you think is the biggest difference? Because in your 6 wins, you guys shut down the pass, and the 2 losses, the pass becomes a big problem. Is there something that you've sensed a theme from your perspective as a linebacker coach, or is it more so like just individual circumstantial situations each play?
Yeah, I guess I don't see it as just pass. What we saw, obviously, you guys saw the perimeter screens. That's an extension of the run game, the RPOs, and so that's big picture. That's everybody. That's coaches. That's everybody on the field there. So I don't just see it as the pass game. Certainly, it's a part we have to stop. And again, we'll keep working on things that have hurt us in the past and moving forward with our game plan.
Mateo Durant, running back for Duke, not only just his skill, but their reliance on him, how big of a part he is of their offense. What do you see on film in terms of what he brings? Yeah,
obviously he stands out tremendously. He's a good football player. Appears to be the heart and soul of what they do. He's getting the football, a lot of carries. You've seen teams in the past that have a steady rotation. He's the guy unless he's fatigued, and he runs hard. He runs downhill. He uses his offhand well to avoid blockers. He's good in protection. He's eager to step up and put his face on backers as a blocker. He's good with his hands in space. I think he's really a complete running back, and so certainly a great challenge for us. We're excited for the opportunity to go play.
Ryan, your point earlier, how would you describe your depth and interchangeability amongst linebackers?
Yeah, I think athletically we have a very athletic group, and so they're capable of playing multiple positions. And then the mental side, we have guys eager to prepare at multiple spots. So it's that's what it takes. It takes preparation and obviously limited reps in practice. There's got to be more film, and those guys take ownership and step up and handle that mental side of it.
We've seen specifically Servassier move outside, inside.
Mm-hmm.
How challenging is it to do? It kind of makes it look easy, but how difficult is that?
No, it's not easy at all. Voss is a special player. He's a special, sharp, intelligent football player, and he gets that. And you could plug and play him at a lot, and sometimes take that for granted. As far as seeing that look all week from the same spot, there's value in that too. So because he's so smart, maybe put a little bit too much on him times, but he certainly can do it. And Chase Pine's a guy who's done all that in the past too. So we have a few guys who can bounce around and do some things which is impressive. And Phil can bounce both sides. Cam can play both sides. John can play both sides. I mean, all those guys are sharp guys, and they're invested and they prepare. So again, I think we have a room that it's important to them that they know multiple spots to help the team.
What part of Voss's growth, like, can you think of points where you noticed, like, hey, this kid is getting smarter each week, like you see like growing points where you identify, like, man, Voss has real potential, or he's stepped up at this point to get to where he is to be a central part of y'all defense?
Absolutely. And going back to, I think, the first time we talked about Voss, I mean, his leadership, his gregarious personality, guys look to him for leadership, and his intelligence is huge. Now, you talk about that growth, talk about in-game adjustments, being able to do the little things from the sideline adjustment, be able to carry that on the field and then tweak that. It's been huge for him and his development. I think that's next level, and so he's becoming even more intelligent out there on the football field within the game to be able to do those little things to help us win will be huge.
He can bounce around a lot, obviously, but is he mostly a Mike now?
I mean, he's a football player. He plays linebacker here, but yeah, he plays Mike.
Ryan, we talked to Patrician after the game, and there's a maturity. There's he doesn't pull punches. He just kind of, what has he added to your room, and what's he like for your guys to have a guy like that in your room?
Yeah, John's a rock. I mean, you talked about it, his maturity. He's talked about, even with the group, chop wood and carry water. He comes to work every day. He's in there watching his film, eating his breakfast, getting extra film study, and the guys see that, and that's contagious. And just his constant approach, good, bad, or indifferent. He stays the course. He's on a mission mentality, and again, that's led to him making plays, and that's led to him being on the football field, and he knows that, and he continues to do that. And so I think his maturity, he doesn't let the adversity or success really bother him. He stays that course, and I think that's a trait of a mature competitor, and that's what he brings to our group.